What's happening, boys? We back again with another one. This video is gonna be a little interesting today, so I'm gonna get me a crack open a cold one. Today we're gonna be doing a little story time. Yeah, I figured I want to change it up, do something a little different, versus always talking about different this, that, blase, blase. Oh, fine. Oh, one second. Yeah. Today we're gonna do story time with our Stella here, Stella Artois. I fuck with this beer. It's one of the more cleaner, lighter, nicer beers. I'm obviously not sponsored by them, but if they would like to, I don't think I'd mind. Today, I want to talk about a personal life experience. I want to talk about the first time I went to jail and the first time I got locked up and what it was like for me. Just so I can share. I just want to share my story for anybody out there that's doing like fuck shit, whatever they're doing, and life leads up to different things, like you never know. So it's about almost 2 years ago now, and at that time I was doing like a lot of like crime, illegal stuff, like whatever. I had been arrested before, right, and I had been in like a holding cell and whatever, but never sent to actually like jail and gone on a range and had to stay there for whatever time. But like this time was different. Pretty much I was on the roads, doing whatever, like mostly like fraud or F or whatever. And I was in like a stolen whip. I was in a stolen car. And like the car, I was just driving around, and the police, they have the ability to pull up your license plate, when they're behind you, and they can see, oh, this car is stolen, this whip is stolen, whatever. And usually whenever it's like that, they turn the lights on, they try to pull you over. Now there's been many times that they turn the lights on and I just like skirt, like I just drive off, and they don't catch me. Because one thing I know is that, okay, you're in a stolen whip. Like if you get in a chase and you get out of the chase, like where like the police might have the address from like who owned the car, but like they're not gonna actually pull up to your house because the car isn't registered under your name, so they don't know how to find you. They're just gonna go to someone else. So if you get in a car chase in a stolen whip, then you can get away. If you get away, you get away pretty much. And that's happened bare times. Like I've gotten away more times than I can count. Right, but this time was different. Like I was on the roads, I was like doing shit, and like the police at this point, like they already knew me by face and by name. I'm assuming more than likely, they already knew who I was, whatever. So I got in a chase, with them. I remember it was like downtown, and like pretty much, like they. I was just driving. I wasn't even expecting them to be like behind me. It's a few years back. I remember this day though. It was snowing. It was really really horrible weather. Oh my god, I fucking remember that. They turned the lights on behind me, right? And I was like, fuck, It was adrenaline mode at that time. Adrenaline is crazy. Adrenaline makes you do crazy things. So I skirt off, right? I'm going down this street. It's like a two-way regular intersection, whatever. It's like a two-way street, traffic on both sides. I'm going down, and then like boom skirt, like then there's like the traffic lights ahead of me. The lights turn red. I just blow right past the lights. I'm like, yo, fuck the lights. I just go straight through the lights. Like literally, like cars almost crashed into me, breaking the lights. The police kept on chasing me, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn down this alley because I know this city like the back of my hand. Like I know the city like the back of my hand at this point. Like I know how to get away from them. I know all of the escape points. I know all of the points where if I turn, it'll be harder for them to follow me. It was a police cruiser, And then I make a right turn, but I bust the right turn too quick because it was snowing. The weather was shit. And when I made the right turn, I bust the right turn, the car started to skid out. And when the car started to skid out, I tried to gain back control. Like when the car skid out, you can't fight it. You just have to let it slide a little bit and then grab the wheel and then press the gas. But this wasn't one of the cases because the weather was so bad. Like it was like so bad. The snow turned into like mud, like to like mucky, and it was still snowing. Like, you know how it is. If you're a driver, you know how like you can be driving in snow and you're making like the smallest turns and you'll like lose a little bit of control, especially if you have an all seasons tire, which is my case, right? So I turned, the car skid out, and then like the police were still behind me at that point. So it was like, it wasn't like I could just fucking wait, you know? And then like I got back control of the car, but it was still skidding, you know? And then I was driving, and so basically I was on the main street. I made a turn into a smaller street, and then that smaller street had another left turn that I needed to make to get down to like a little, it would basically be like a one-way lane where like people lived in the houses on the sides of the lane, you know, but it was like a smaller lane pretty much, and you could get away through that lane. My idea was that I was gonna turn left, turn right, go into the lane, go all the way down the lane, and then make a right turn, because even then, like, that's like a strip of restaurants, like the back end of restaurants where restaurants go to throw their garbage, or like people come out to have a smoke, you know, the backside of the restaurant. And that was like a narrow path, and I was sure that the cruiser couldn't follow me through that path, right? So I was like, okay, fuck it, that's what I'm gonna do. So I make a right turn, skid out, gain back control, and then I make a left turn again, I skid again, and this time I crash right into a pole, like one of those large wooden poles, you know? And I'm like, fuck. And I look behind me, the cops are behind me. I'm like, yo, it's gonna take way too much time. It's gonna take way too much time to reverse out and fix this. Like, this is its own problem, you know? I'm like, yo, should I fucking grab the bear mace? Should I bear mace the cops? And I'm like, that's not a good idea, you know? As soon as they see you grabbing shit, they probably think, you know, I probably have a gun or something or whatever. So I just was like, fuck it. I grabbed all the important shit that was mine. I got out of the car and I sprinted. I sprinted. The cop, he pulled up by that time and he got out of the car and he was sprinting after me as well. It was so hard to run because I was in like winter boots. I was in like fucking massive ass UGG boots, and I was sprinting. I was in a thick ass winter jacket. It was cold as fuck that day, you know? And the cop was sprinting. He's like, hey, stop. You know, and like I was running through the neighborhood. I was running through people's homes. I saw this guy like shoveling snow and just watching the police chase me. It was hilarious. And then after like, it wasn't even that long of a run. This is what made me realize that, yo, when you do like illegal fucked up shit, you should like, and you need to run away from the cops on foot. Like smoking weed does not help you. Smoking weed makes it easier for the police to catch you, because your lungs, you have no like lung capacity to run away. Police train day in, day out to chase people down. So he caught me, like he literally like jumped on me and like slammed me to the ground, you know, throw the cuffs on me. And then right after, like 2-3 more police cruisers showed up, like 5 more police guys showed up, and then one of them showed up. One of them was like the constable or some shit. He's like, yeah, I've seen this guy. I know this guy before. You know, he's like, yeah, now you're going to, he was like, whatever, lock him up, blah, blah, blah. You know, they put me in the back of the police cruiser for like a long minute. By this time, I'd already messaged, before this happened, while the chase was happening, I was messaging my dogs, letting them know what's happening, because, you know, it was like a group of us. So I was letting them know, yo, I'm in a chase, this, that, you know, whatever, just so they know what's happening. They know if anything goes down, make sure you call my lawyer, make sure they know so they can get me out of this place as soon as possible, because I don't know if I can be in the bin for long, you know? So pretty much after I got arrested and they threw me in the cruiser, I was just waiting. And then the cruiser, another, like a bigger police vehicle came. And I guess that's like a more like massive, I guess when the police arrest you, they put you in their own cruiser. And then after you get arrested, another cruiser comes, like not a cruiser, another like, it's almost shaped like a U-Haul truck, like a U-Haul truck. A police truck comes where they throw you in with all the other people that they've rounded up for the night or whatever. And then they just keep on driving around with you, you know, like you're just in this box, like this tiny ass box. It's literally like this big. And there's like 8 other people in that same truck or whatever, however many people they catch in that same truck. And at the end of the night, they brought me to the division. I don't remember what police division it was. And then I went in for processing. You know, like I got processed. I was sitting in the holding cell. You know, I was just there for like, I don't know, like, I was there for like maybe like 5, 6 hours. I don't know. It was a good amount of time. It wasn't like a 20-minute, 30-minute thing. After they brought me to the holding cell, right? Like it was nighttime when they caught me, and it was daytime when they took me out of the holding cell, and they brought me for processing to the jail, which was the jail is Etobicoke South Detention Center. Etobicoke North or South, I can't remember. It was one of them in Etobicoke, right? They brought me there, and then you have to go through processing again, where like processing there was just fucking crazy. Went there, had to take off, go there, give them all my belongings, write down everything that they took, blah blah blah. Had to fucking take my clothes off, you know, they change out of all of this shit, you know, and like you had to put on like a gray jumpsuit. No, sorry, gray or orange? I think it was an orange jumpsuit. I can't remember. Whatever. You had to put on some bullshit ass jumpsuit. Then you had to wait with like a bunch of other fucking crazy ass motherfuckers, you know, like and then the time came now where it's like, okay, we're finished processing, you know, you're almost finished processing, and the last thing they have to do is a cavity check. And this was like the fucking craziest shit of my life. Like shit was like uncomfortable as hell. You had to like take your clothes off completely, and you had to like hands to your toes, and like some guy would come behind you and like fucking look inside your asshole to see if you had anything shoved inside your asshole. It was like, I was just like, I felt so fucking violated. But after that, then they bring you on to they move you from the processing facility into like a cell block where it's like they're still holding you. You haven't been processed to a range, because range is where people like actually live. You know, like that's where like you've been charged and you're living there for like a year, 2 years, doing out your sentence, whatever. They moved me to a cell block, and I had like a cellmate. I had a cellie for like 4 or 5 days, and then like, you know, it was just like, you know, the first time they move you there, the first time, like, you know, like you walk in, door shut, boom, you know, it's like I'm just there thinking like, oh shit, you know, like my lawyer, my boys gotta holler at my lawyer. They probably hollered at my lawyer. I'm gonna be out in like, you know, like a day or two. It's like whatever, it's soft, you know, blah blah blah, you know. And I'm just sitting there waiting, you know. And then like it's a tiny ass room, you know. There's a bunk bed. There's one bunk, another bunk. I had the top bunk, and then there's a washroom. You know, not a washroom. There's a toilet, and there's like a mirror. There's like a window. You like a fucking window like this size. You can see out of, and then like you're just looking, and you're just institutionalized, you know, like everything else is just outside happening. Life is just moving along, you know, like, and I'm just sitting there, you know, time passes quick. Sorry, correction. Time passes like, okay, your sense of time is obscured. It doesn't pass quick. That's incorrect. Your sense of time is obscured because you don't really have a watch, you don't really have a clock, you don't really have a way of telling. I mean, outside there is like I can look outside, I can look through my cell, like the cell doors, and then I can see there's a TV. They have the TV playing like fucking some American channels, like movies playing, but it doesn't really tell you the time that's happening, you know? And you're just there sitting with yourself, like, what the fuck is happening? What's gonna happen? Like you're worried about, like I'm worried about shit that people that were expecting me to show up for them, to do stuff for them, you know, like people were placing orders with me to like book them flights and all of this shit, and I couldn't show up for them because fucking I'm locked in jail. I'm hoping that all of my boys are telling people right now that I'm in the bin, so niggas know, yo, call my lawyer, whatever, you know, so I can get out as soon as possible. My lawyer's trying to call me, but I can't even answer the call. The lawyer has to call the detention, the jail, and then transfer to me, and it's like a whole bunch of shit. Like it's like it's impossible for your lawyer to pretty much call you, because you just have to pick up the phone. You have to get credits, and they assign you like credits or whatever, if I can remember correctly, and like it's a whole waiting process. Like when you get like recreational time, like rec time, like you can go outside and like you can make a phone call, but like niggas like literally make like they have like a way of organizing who gets the phone at what specific time. And like if you're a new guy, like nobody really gives a fuck about you. You gotta wait the time, bro. you know. So it's pretty much like impossible, you know. It's just like crazy, you know. Like I had a few times when I could talk to my lawyer, whatever, like a 1, 2 times, you know, and then just like time's passing, days are passing, and the days turn into like a week, and like, you know, like eventually, like after like about like 4 to 5 days, I get moved to an actual range. I wasn't on the range long. I was on the range for like 2 days, and then I got released, thank God. But like for the time that I was on the range, like, you know, like I'm in a lot of different people that were there for different things. People that were there for like, you know, like trafficking guns. People that were like, you have some people that are just like fucked up mentally that are just there, like, you know, like just fucked up. You know, like I met this one guy that like I think he beat the shit out of his like girlfriend's friend or something, and like he like he like beat the shit out of him with a gun or something, and he was just like so nonchalant about it. It was just like listening to him talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm sharing a cell with this fucker. You know, like you gotta go, you gotta take a shower, you gotta take a shower with like fucking six other dudes, six other niggas fucking just there. Like the only thing fucking blocking you is like a fucking thin ass curtain. They give you like this little they don't really give you a bar of soap. You get like for us it was like imagine like one of those ketchup containers like that you get takeout, those little ketchup containers that contain like soap liquid that you could wash yourself. People still like smoke weed, and people still like do like all different types of drugs in jail. Like nothing stops them. You know, it's like that's why they do the cavity check, because you can smuggle drugs in up your ass. I'm pretty sure it's like some paper that you have to buy. It's like that paper can bypass the scans, like the Xerox, like the security scans, like the ones you walk through, like at the airport. It's the paper that, if I remember correctly, it's like some special type of paper, but you wrap like the weed or whatever in the paper, and you like shove it up your ass, and like you'll be good. But like I think the reason why they still do the cavity check is because some people will act abnormal having something fucking stuck up their ass. So it's like I don't fucking know, man. But I'm not smoking no weed that came in through someone's ass, man. Fuck that shit. You know, people like you smoke like niggas will smoke the weed like it'll be 4 or 5 of them, and like they'll like blow it up the vents right where the showers are, because the showers need to have vents to suck up all the heat, the hot air, you know. And the COs that are on the block, like the COs know this. They know that you're smoking weed, but they'll just let people slide because they fuck with you, you know. These guys, COs are also some of the most fucked up people, you know. CO meaning correctional officer. Like, don't ever think they're there for you. They're friendly for you. I asked one of them, oh, can you bring me a book? Can you just get me something to read? Whatever. Like, yeah. Then eventually, like, after days pass, he just keeps on saying, yeah, not doing shit. These guys don't give a fuck about you. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I'll do it for you, bro, no problem, you know. Me acting like he's like a real one or something. Then I'm realizing after 1, 2 days, I'm like, why would this guy even give a fuck? He still comes, still sees me every day because he's gotta check in, we gotta do like roll call or whatever. And like he's just like, I'm just like, yo, at some point I'm just like, yo, fuck it, whatever. I'm not asking this guy shit. One of the ways I passed my time there was pretty much by writing shit down, like, you know, getting a pencil and a paper and just writing shit down, writing the plans that I had down when I get out, writing the things that I wanted to do, writing the like, you know, just whatever was in my mind, I just had to get it out on a piece of paper. Like, I think I was writing on like fucking tissue paper or toilet paper. It didn't really matter to me. I didn't really give a fuck. You know, I just couldn't stand being in this spot, in this area for, I think when you wake up, you're in the cell for like 5 to 6 hours, and then you get an hour to come up for recreation, an hour to go to shower, and then like you go back in the nighttime, and then you're back out. Like you're sleep, wake up, and rinse, repeat. If you have like, when you wake up, if you have like any medical problems, the nurse will come and give you drugs, whatever. You take the pills, blah blah blah, whatever bullshit. But like when that door closes, man, when that shit slams and you're locked in there for however many periods of unknown time, it's just fucking crazy. Like it's a mental fortitude thing where the people who survive in there are people who are like mentally prepared, but it's not like a thing where it's like you're just gonna be there and it's just like you hear on TV or you hear on the shows where it's like, oh, you're just in jail, you do your time and you come out. It's not like that. It's like a whole, it's not an adventure, but it's like a whole experience. And it's like the most negative, it's like the worst, it's not a good experience, man. It's not shit that you would want to happen to yourself, right? Getting booked, from getting booked to move to the holding cell, to the jail, to actually going on a range, and then everybody's their own different type of personality, right? You can't really fuck with some people, and you can fuck with some people, but you won't know who you can fuck with until you fuck with the wrong person, until you fuck with someone and they fuck you over. You know, you're like, oh, yeah, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Some people are in there for some crazy ass shit, you know? One of the things when you move on to a range or whatever, the first thing is they give you a paper to ask if you're affiliated with any gangs. Because if you're gang affiliated, they try to keep people gang affiliated with other gang affiliated people. Because, for example, like, let's say the Bloods and the Crips, they don't want to mix Bloods and Crips in the same range. They split them up because if you mix them together, there's going to be a lot of war, a lot of fighting. So they ask you literally straight up, are you repping any gangs, right? If you are, this is not the range for you because this gang reps Bloods and you're a Crip. So if you put you here, they're going to fucking kill you, right? So tell us where you are, tell us what you rep, what you represent, and we'll put you with what you represent so we can have peace and prosperity for the whole process or the time while you're here, right? But yeah, man, I remember fucking getting out, and it was just great to just be outside, just be free again. But then after that, like everything changed, you know. Like I still had to go to court, you know, and the judge said, oh, you know, you could have been like with all these charges that you have, because I got charged like I think like 35 times, 35 different charges, like fleeing from the police, I got that 3 times, possession of stolen vehicle, possession of illegal things, this, that, whatever. Just like, yo, this is an easy 3 to 6 years in jail, easily. But since you have a clean record, you never did any fuck shit before, whatever, if I see you here again, game over, you know. So that kind of just made me realize and be like, yo, what the fuck am I doing, yo? These people, the people that I thought were my boys that were supposed to be there for me, were like, kind of like half-assed. Like, they still were living their lives, you know. They were out partying, they were doing their own shit, you know. And like, they weren't like, they were concerned that I could come out so that I could go and make more money, you know, because we're all a group, if we make money together. So I could go make more money and whatever, and we could split it, and we could make, I could make money for them, and I profit, whatever, call it what you want, you know. So like, their concern wasn't my safety, honestly. And that's something you come to realize when you're sitting in a cell by yourself and you have the time to reflect. Because right now you don't have the time to reflect. Right now you just need to you're just worried about making more cash by any means, right? When you get locked up and you're forced to reflect, that's a different situation, you know. But yeah, that was my little tea time about, you know, the time I went to the bin. If you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Again, just for a lot of you youngins who are doing whatever, just be careful of the people you have around you, man. Because when shit goes down, when you get caught, when you get booked, when you get arrested, you know, you never know what'll happen. You know, you never know how shit will turn out. You know, so just like, don't fuck around, really, honestly. Yeah, this is one for you guys. You like this video, like, comment, subscribe. You know, your boy's always posting new videos, and I still got that something that I promised for you guys coming out. I ain't forget shit, you know. But yeah, it's Tavon Talks. We out. Peace out.